Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord, unto me. Thank you for this board chair. Thank you for all of the board members that are assembled in this boardroom today. We thank you for Superintendent Hyde and all of the staff, Polk County Public Schools. Thank you, O God, for the many blessings that you have already bestowed upon us. You have blessed us. You have kept us through this day, and you're with us now. We ask your continued mercy and your blessings and your strength upon Jason Pitts. Ask for healing for his body. Bless his family. Thank you, O God, for our students and all of the families that we serve throughout this district. Ask that you would be with us and ever protect us and keep us by your divine power. I pray that this meeting tonight will be a meeting that will be a blessing to all that will come tonight with expressions and whatever the business that will be taken care of will be taken care of properly and according to your divine power. Be with us, lead us, and guide us, and we will give you glory. We will give you honor, and we will tell you thank you for all things. For we ask it in the wonderful name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop. Now I'd like to invite Aaliyah Corella to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
You may all be seated. However, Aaliyah, I would like for you to remain there. Sorry, let me take a sip real quick. That was fantastic, Aaliyah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you introduce yourself and anyone that you brought with you tonight?
I'm Aaliyah Corella, and one of the people that I bring today was my mom, my dad, my two little sisters, and my big brother, and my principal, Mr. Cummings.
Excellent, yes. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, do you have any hobbies or other activities that you enjoy?
Hobbies? I like to ride my bike. I like to play video games and listen to music. I love music. It's one of my favorite things.
Excellent, excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject in school has to be either ELA or math.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Yes. Can you also tell us what are your biggest dreams for your future?
My biggest dreams for my future is to become a physical therapist, help out the homeless, and make this world better.
Wow. I wish you success on all three of those fronts. We need it. So appreciate that. And I got one final question for you. Okay, I know you're in 11th grade. You're at Alta Vista. I'm sorry, 11 years old. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, sorry. I'm not trying to make her grow up faster than she is already. I know I have 3 little boys myself, man. They grow up fast. But you're in 6th grade, and you're 11 years old at Alta Vista K-8 school. And I was wondering, can you tell us what you like best about your school?
I like best about my school that they really care about your education. Like, they show up to school not with a frown on their face, but they show up knowing that they want to make a better you. They're there for us. They're there to teach us. And I like that they like to understand and check up on people's health.
Wow, sounds like a real compassionate school community. So thank you, principal, for setting that example in the school. And Aaliyah, thank you for being here. And so I'm going to ask you if you could please come forward tonight and bring your guest with you, because we want you to to take a picture here so we can, record this great occasion. So come on forward, bring your guests, and everyone, can we give Aaliyah a round of applause for being here tonight? Family, guests, principal, all y'all, come on up. Great job. Yes.
See the yellow lines? One, two, three. Thank you.
Good evening. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present here today on this somewhat of a chilly evening. I know we had a little bit of a cold snap here lately. On Tuesday, February 24th. The board, superintendent, and I are pleased that you have joined us as we celebrate student achievement, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Polk County School Board. Our goal is to ensure we achieve our mission to provide a high-quality education for all students. I would like to call the February 24th, 2026 regular school board meeting to order. Board members, the first item on our agenda tonight is to accept our agenda. Superintendent Hyde, are there any revisions to the agenda as printed?
Mr. Chair, members of the board, there are several amendments this evening. Item H, number 5, Polk County millage rate increase for travel reimbursement. An item was added. Item L, number 2, amendment to installation of wall on a Sheriff Central District Command location. Attachment was updated. Item L, number 3, right-of-way dedication along Gilbert Street from Pinewood Elementary. An attachment was updated. Item M, number 1, non-instructional personnel actions. An attachment was added. Item M, number 2, administrative and instructional personnel actions. An attachment was Item R, number 1, Wonder Here Incorporated 2-year contract for services agreement. Attachments were added. Item V, as in Victor, number 2, tentative 2026-27, 2027-28, 2028-29 instructional calendars for students, teachers, and paraeducators. The attachment was updated. Item V, as in Victor, number 3, executive summary PEA collective bargaining settlement agreement for 2025-26. The attachments were updated. And lastly, item V, as in Victor, number 4, out-of-county travel within the state of Florida. An item was added. That concludes changes, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the agenda for the February 24th, 2026 board meeting with noted revisions. Do I have a motion and second? It's been moved by Board Member Fields, seconded by Board Member Allen. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote. So the motion on the floor is to accept the February 24th, 2026 school board agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. The next item up is new administrators. Superintendent Hyde, would you lead us through our next item?
Yes, sir. We have 2 new administrators for this evening. Thomas, is it Mayerny? I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
Mallory.
Say it again, sir. Mallory. It was the administrative assistant at Eagle Lake Elementary School being promoted to assistant principal at Kathleen Middle School. Thank you, sir.
So a little taller. Good evening, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here tonight and accept the role as assistant principal. I want to sincerely thank the school board for the trust and confidence for me to carry out this role. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent Hyde, for your leadership and vision for Polk County schools. I'm especially grateful to my previous regional superintendent and former principal Christopher Roberts, and my current regional assistant superintendent, Ms. Cynthia Cangelos, for their support and guidance along the way. There's a couple of other thank yous I want to give, if that's okay with y'all. I want to also thank some of my former principals, Mr. Dwayne Johnson from Bartow Middle, and Ms. Heather Lynn from Eagle Lake Elementary for their mentorship and example they have set. I also want to thank my current principal, Mr. Bucky Day, for his leadership and opportunity to allow me to serve at Kathleen Middle School. I also have to thank my wife, who is my biggest support. She also is in the education system as well at Polk County Schools, for supporting me through all the wonderful career choices and changes and master's degrees and all that stuff and trainings. My biggest fan. It is both a privilege and great responsibility to serve this community. Education is not just about preparing students for tests. It's about preparing them for life. We have an incredible opportunity to shape future leaders, inspire dreams, build a foundation that extends far beyond school walls. As the saying goes, to serve is to lead. I am grateful for the opportunity to lead by serving our students, staff, and community every single day. So thank you for your support. Thank you for trusting me with this role, and I'm excited for the work ahead.
Congratulations. Good job. And any of your colleagues that you'd also like, we'll take a family photo first, but if any of your colleagues want to join you, we'll take a second one. Someone's happy. It's a good picture. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Next, we have Justin Martin, Administrative Assistant at Pinewood Elementary, being promoted to Acting Assistant Principal at Eagle Lake.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So first I want to thank God for the plans that he had for me that allowed me to be here at this moment. I want to thank the board, the superintendent for opening this gate, if you will, of opportunity to be here and serve in a different capacity as well. I'd like to thank the regionals, Christopher Roberts, as well as Nicole Bennett and Principal Heather Lynn for kind of giving me the key to that pathway to be able to take a new role in serving the students, staff, and community at Eagle Lake Elementary. Certainly would not be here without a lot of different key members also who played a significant role throughout my career. To begin with, Al McDaniel, who showed me that being a good man and being a good administrator go hand in hand on the daily. For Miss April Campbell, who kind of looking past my significant background in secondary and seeing what I could provide to the elementary school world. To Dr. Jennifer Detling, who was always trying to give me different opportunities to grow me as a leader, as much as I was willing to take. To Mr. Luis Rios for being the example of showing that sound decisions can affect a whole school in a positive manner. To the men and women of the Florida National Guard, who I've served with for many years now and continue to serve with, I just want to thank them for their selfless service and the dedication that has helped me grow in more ways than they will probably ever know. Thank you to my mom and dad, who provided me the examples of showing how hard work and dedication is what your career deserves because of the people you serve within it. To my amazing wife, thank you for your sacrifice of sharing me with the demands of a rewarding but demanding career of almost 20 years. Whether it was the time away, the papers on the table for grading papers late at night, thank you for sharing your time, your love, your support through all of this. To my perfect combo, my little boy and my little girl who aren't so little anymore. Thank you for giving me all the memories and blessings of what it really means to give me joy through the good days and the cloudy days that we have from time to time. And to the many faces that I imagine as I stand here today and move forward, thank you for the positive impact that you had to me, my growth, and where I am now. So to everyone, thank you.
Congratulations. Hang on, one more. Team photo. Great job, sir. Congratulations. Mr. Chair, that concludes new administrators this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent. The next item up is our special recognitions. Superintendent Hyde, would you lead us through our special recognitions, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Allen to please step down for this evening's recognitions. First on our list of recognitions, I'd like to welcome Dr. Adrian Anthony, Senior Director for the Office of Compliance and ADA, to come forward with Ms. Concheryl Adams to present the winners of the 2026 Polk County Public Schools Oratorical and Essay Contest for MLK.
All right, triumphant Tuesday, everyone. I would like to say thank you to the superintendent, the school board chair, and to each and every board member for your hard work and dedication to the many citizens of Polk County and your commitment to transforming the lives of our most valuable treasure, our students. With that same spirit of excellence, we would like to honor this historical Black History Month and give homage to the many people who sacrificed their resources and lives for American liberty. Given such a rich history, we would like to honor our Polk County School District students who wrote life-changing essays inspired by the legendary Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This year's theme, Mission Possible, standing up for freedom, justice, and democracy, peacefully and powerfully. So now we're going to have a big group photo with our third place winners, our second place winners, and our first place winners. So let's get ready. I'm going to go a little fast, all right? You guys ready? Check. All right. Riley from Citrus Ridge Academy, Storm from Winston Academy of Engineering, Haley from Jewett Middle Academy, and Natalie from Haines City High School. We'll have the parents, the administrators, the regionals, the students, teachers, paraprofessionals, assistant principals, grandparents. You're all welcome. We'll take a quick photo.
We have to get people up on it. We have to put some people up on the risers here.
So we're going to hand out Okay, yes, come on, regionals. Let's give it up for our regionals. We appreciate all your hard work. All right. Well, we'll do my name. Okay. All right, great.
There you go.
All right.
Great
Round of applause. Third place winners. Now for our second place winners. Leah from Winston Academy of Engineering. Gia from Citrus Ridge Academy. Catherine from Davenport School of the Arts. And Zantarian from Bartow Senior High School. Gia. Come on down. Don't be shy.
Thank you, ma'am.
How you doing, sir? Take your time.
Thank you. Congrats.
Can you see everyone?
Keep me coming.
1, 2, 3, more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Now for our first place winners. Eden from Citrus Ridge Academy. Christian from Lincoln Avenue Academy. Adeline from Davenport School of the Arts. And Aaliyah from Harrison School of the Arts, who's also in the Army Reserves in high school. Thank you for your service.
Don't block her, Dr. Anthony. Switch spots. There you go.
One, two, three. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you again.
Do we have all of our pledge leaders identified for the year? I think we should bring the Harrison young lady back. Who's in? I'll work with Miss Winchester. Okay. Next, I'd like Miss Leanne Bennett, Senior Director of Career and Workforce Development, to come forward to recognize our career technical education students and teachers of the year.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us this evening. February is Career and Technical Education Month, a time when we proudly recognize students and educators who are preparing our learners for college careers and life beyond the classroom. CTE programs connect academics to real-world and industry certifications and meaningful career pathways. Tonight, we celebrate some of our outstanding examples of that success. So we're going to start with our CTE secondary students. In agriculture, Kendall Curtin as a 12th grade student at Winter Haven High School, taught by Sarah Garcia. In the business management and marketing, we have Yaya Abdu Adas, an 11th grade student at George Jenkins High School. He's taught by both Christy Kirkland and Jessica Salas. In communications and information services, we have Rafael Guerrero, 12th grade student at Ridge Community High School, taught by Maylinda Lopez.
Come on down.
In health sciences, we have Leah Thomas, an 11th grade student from Fort Meade, Middle Senior High School, taught by Rhonda Johnson. In human services and resources, Bailey Stanley, a 12th grade student at Bartow High School, taught by Lon Lovett. In industrial manufacturing and engineering, we have Caitlin Lewis, a 12th grade student from Auburndale Senior High School, taught by Kara Baldwin. From Travis Technical College, we have Benjamin DeHaven. He's an aviation student in an airframe program, taught by Cynthia Roosevelt. And John Curlis from Ridge Technical College in the HVAC program, taught by Mr. Michael Browning. We're going to take a picture of this group and then we'll recognize the next group. Thank you so much. As we know, CTE is for all students, and tonight we proudly honor our CTE students with unique abilities, whose determination and achievements inspire us all. From Crystal Lake Middle, not able to join us, was Annalyn Morales Iglesia. Jessica James, a 9th grade student at Mulberry High School in the health science program, taught by Jason Lamar. We're coming. Oh, sorry, I got ahead of us. All right, you're going to come right over here. We have Uriel Ortiz, an 11th grade student from Ridge Community High School, taught by Melinda Lopez. Justin Severnhaus, an 11th grade student from Kathleen High School, taught by Mr. Aaron Murray. Do we have Justin? Oh, sorry. Billy Humphrey, 12th grade student from Fort Meade Middle Senior High, taught by Ashley Wheeler. Oh, we missed you. You're going to have to switch. All right. And do we have Billy? There we go. All right. All right, and we're going to have a picture of this group. Points, so that was good. Let's get it together.
1, 2, 3, one more. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you so much. And last, we'd like to honor the teachers who do such an excellent job supporting these students. In agriculture, we're recognizing Mr. Eddie Congdon from Dundee Ridge Middle. In business management and marketing, Holly Schmidt from Haines City High School, but she could not attend tonight. In communication information services, Aaron Murray from Kathleen High School.
Hang on.
Eddie, you get to stay here. In health science, Stacy Grimes from Bartow High School. Unfortunately, she could not attend tonight. In human services and resources, culinary, we have Julie Brantley from Frostproof Middle Senior High. In industrial manufacturing and engineering, our pre-engineering teacher at Sleepy Hill Middle, Amy Hamilton. Our post-secondary teachers are Ray Finder for the HVAC program at Travis Technical College. And Miss Ashley Still for nails and facials from Ridge Technical College. You're going to get your picture. Thank you all for the excellent work you do for us. Okay. I'd like to quickly add that Ms. Anderson left a challenge coin that our team, all our students and teachers received. You got to receive one of those samples. We're pretty proud of those. So thank you all for your support that you always give to us. Thanks.
Ms. Anderson is not going anywhere. Next, I'd like to bring Ms. Anderson, Assistant Director for Career and Technical Education, to please come forward for recognition of AgriFest.
Yes, thank you. So we're excited that AgriFest is very close on the horizon. It starts next week. On your place setting, you should have a little invitation with some goodies from Polk County Farm Bureau. They are one of the sponsors of AgriFest. It is a trifecta, a partnership between Polk County Farm Bureau, Polk County Public Schools, and then University of Florida IFAS Extension. So AgriFest is held at the Polk County Agri Center. We hope that you might be able to come out and join us for a day. It will be March 2nd through the 6th next week, and then the following week as well, the 9th through the 13th. This is year 37 of AgriFest, and so we're pretty proud of that. That is our introductory event for our 4th grade students to teach them a little bit about agricultural education. So this year we're excited. We have huge numbers. I have 260 classrooms that signed up with 5,511 students. That's public, private, charter, and homeschool students. We invite all of them. Our partners, our industry partners, are the ones that actually do the teaching in the small groups that the students rotate through. And those partners are Mosaic. They will cover phosphate with students. Our Polk County Master Gardeners will do a horticulture unit. All Florida Conservation is our newest group that we brought in last year to cover conservation of Florida. The Polk County Citrus Growers have their citrus station. The extension agents run the small farms. And then the Polk County Cattlemen's Association will have a beef cattle unit. So there's 6 stations that the students rotate through. We are very proud to have some sponsors like Florida Natural Growers, and then also the Duke Energy Foundation came in this year because they heard about AgriFest through some of our publications from PR and reached out last year, and they said, we want to be part of this. How do we get involved? And so now Duke Energy has partnered with us as well. So we're excited about that. We hope you'll come see us at AgriFest.
And I'll put in a plug, and there are plenty of spaces left if you want to sign up to volunteer for a part of your day or the entire day.
And Yvette has the sign up.
Yes, we take about 30 volunteers a day to run AgriFest. So it's lots of bodies to make sure it's safe and fun and engaging for our students. So
It is a lot of fun.
yeah, 9 to noon every day.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Board members, at this time, I'm going to take a little bit of special privilege with recognitions. As you know, last month, 2 individuals were recognized within our community, and I'd like to recognize those 2 for the accolades they've received. I'd like to ask Board Member Fields to please come down to the floor, as well as Ms. Jeanette Crowley, Director of Strategic Planning and Partnerships. Last month, both of these women were recognized by the Leadership Lakeland Alumni Association for their significant contributions here in Polk County. Ms. Fields received the Jerry Annis Leadership Award, which is given to a graduate whose continuous service has had a significant impact and positive impact on the Lakeland community. Ms. Jeanette Crowley received the Legacy Leader Award, which honors an alumnus whose service, dedication, and leadership have also left a lasting impact on the association and the surrounding community. Both of these women, as you all know, are very deserving of their awards, and so I wanted to take a moment to ensure that we congratulated them yet again publicly for their achievements. Please join me in giving them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And Mr. Chair, that concludes special recognitions for this evening. Make sure she gets her Best of PCPS coin, challenge coin.
Thank you, Superintendent Hyde. Just a quick thank you to all those who took the time out of their schedule to join us tonight for special recognition. Next up is public comments for items on the agenda to be voted upon as adopted at the start of the meeting. Before we begin, I would like to welcome the public and go over our public comment process and opportunities for this evening. We will have two opportunities for public comment this evening. The first will be for items on the evening's agenda to be voted upon. As always, during this time, comments will be limited to those items that are on the agenda. Lastly, at the end of the meeting, we will have an additional opportunity for public comment on items that are not on this evening's agenda. To register to speak, community members must fill out a speaker card in the lobby prior to the meeting. All speakers will be given 3 minutes. The light, should be over here, will turn yellow when you have 1 minute left, and you will hear a beep when your time has concluded. All comments should be directed to myself as board chair. As a reminder, public comments are an opportunity for us to collectively hear your thoughts and comments. This is not a question and answer session, and comments are not to be directed at individual board members. However, if you are seeking additional information, I encourage you to contact any of us or the superintendent's office outside of the board meeting. We would be happy to have a deeper conversation with you. The first person I would like to call up is Stephanie Yoakum. You will have 3 minutes to speak. If you start with your name and address before you speak for public record, we would appreciate that. And then there's also a red line over there, and that's going to be our on deck. And Laura Allgood, you're on deck. You're recognized.
Stephanie Yoakum, President of the Polk Education Association, 730 East Davidson, Bartow. Tonight before you, you have the ratification vote for our 3 Polk Education Association union contracts. This was a long, drawn-out, very tiring bargaining session this year, mainly because our state underfunds public education. And we continue to be starved of resources while billions of dollars continue to go to unaccountable private and corporate and homeschooling entities. And this will continue to be a point of contention until we get our state to understand that public schools constitutionally must be adequately funded, and there should be one system of quality public education in the state per the Florida Constitution. And so I am here before you to advocate for a yes vote tonight, but knowing that 2% is not enough. 2% doesn't cover inflation. Our folks are starving. They are working 3 and 4 jobs to make ends meet. And when I heard Aaliyah, who did our pledge tonight, say what she felt she most loved about her school, that is what we fight for every single day, is to have dedicated, quality, qualified staff, whether they're the bus driver in front of them in the morning or the food service worker giving them breakfast, to the secretary that's greeting their parents, to their classroom teacher, or any of their support instructional personnel. We have to guarantee that not just from our union, which is made up of the teachers and support staff in Polk County schools. It is your responsibility as elected officials to be advocating for public school funding to our public schools so that we can function. We are becoming at a critical mass here, not just in Polk County, but across this state. And I would ask that as we go into the midterm elections, right now the legislature is debating all sorts of craziness, but nothing in both chambers is passing that's good for schools. There's some in Senate, there's some in the House, but neither chamber can agree to move things forward that are good for schools. And so until we can have adequate funding that goes back to the Jeb Bush era of the de-investment of public schools, we will continue to have problems. And so I advocate for a yes vote, but I also ask for you to please, as people are wanting you to go to fundraisers in this area, that you ask them one thing: do you support fully funded public schools and the repeal of the universal voucher scheme? And if they don't, we should not be supporting them. Thank you.
Next up, we have Laura Allgood.
Laura Aga, 3660 Wellington Place, Bartow, Florida, 33830. Board members, my name is Laura Allgood, and I am a proud Polk County Public School music educator and a product of Polk County Public Schools. I have taught elementary music for 24 years in Polk County Public Schools, and I currently serve in the bargaining team. This bargaining session was long, it was tireless, and I believe it was not easy for either side. We had tough conversations centering around issues such as discipline and the budget. We worked to come to a consensus and an agreement. Not perfect, but better. This past week, I spent time in Tallahassee for the legislative session. I spoke to senators and House reps. I spoke with them about how the teacher shortage is harming our students and the unfair way that charters and vouchers are taking away from our public schools. And I urge this board to continue to advocate for proper funding for our public schools, so that each of you will vote in November for the millage, and so that we can better pay and maintain highly qualified teachers and staff in our Polk County Public Schools. This will assure we put students first, which is what we are all about, and that is our motto. Thank you for your time.
Board members, now we have to approve 3 sets of minutes. The first set of minutes is for the January 27th, 2025 school board work session. The chair will entertain a motion to accept the January 27th, 2025 school board work session minutes as written. Do I have a motion? So moved by Board Member Keys. Do I have a second? Seconded by Board Member Fields. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. The second set of minutes is for the January 27th, 2025 school board meeting. The chair will entertain a motion to accept the January 27th, 2025 school board meeting minutes as written. Do I have a motion? It's been moved by Board Member Fields, seconded by Board Member Miller. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. The third and final set of minutes is for the February 10th, 2026 school board work session. The chair will entertain a motion to accept the February 10th, 2026 school board work session minutes as written. Is it moved by Board Member Keys? Do I have a second? Seconded by Board Member Allen. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. The next item is approval of today's consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to accept the February 24th, 2026 consent agenda as printed. Do I have a motion and second? It's been moved by Board Member Fields, seconded by Board Member Wyatt. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Next up on our agenda is the action agenda. Our first item on the action agenda is V1, entitled Lake Marion Site for District Development in the Northeast Area for Future School. The suggested action is to approve the purchase of the Lake Marion site. The chair will accept a motion. It's been moved by Board Member Wyatt. Do I have a second? It's been seconded by Board Member Miller. We have a motion and second. Is there any discussion, fellow board members? I will now recognize Board Member Keys.
So I know that this has dragged on a little while here now, and
that being said, is we're going to have an upcoming discussion regarding growth in the northeast part of the area. That being said, I think it probably is fair to say that we should probably get all the information before we go voting on another piece of land purchase. I also want to say in doing that we're going out for a millage increase, right? And also with that, we have coming up a comprehensive plan to do repairs throughout the district. So in a time with that, we haven't seen the final results of those repairs. Early estimates in the tens of millions of dollars, most likely more than that. And to land bank in a time such as this, I am adamantly against, especially on a site that we don't know what the future development is going to be as far as roadways and water. So I will not be supporting this at all tonight, and I would urge that we really give this consideration, even though that we're pushed this can down the road quite a bit, that we really would think about what we're doing before going and banking land that we don't know what the future use is, if any at all. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Board Member Keys. Is there any further discussion? The chair recognizes Board Member Allen.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'll probably not be voting in favor of this tonight. A couple things that I think are still unclear for me is the cost on the 2-mile extension of a force main as it relates to getting infrastructure to this property. I don't think that was unraveled enough for me to have confidence in this vote in this item at this point. And then secondly, I think it's clear, or unclear rather, to me what the direction is with this property. I would like to have a little bit more intentionality around what the property would be used for. So those are the two things that I think were uncertain to me in the process, and I think knowing what's coming in regards to our development conversation, I think that pertains to this as well, and I think that's important to me as well. So I'll probably not be voting in favor of this tonight.
Board Member Fields, you are now recognized.
Thank you. I'm a little bit confused because in the work session, I thought we were going to table this. So did that leave and I forgot? Nobody said anything? Why is it not being tabled?
Board Member Fields, I can address that. Someone actually has to make the motion to table it.
And I know that. And I thought that
It has
Mr.
not been
Keys
made.
was going to do that.
Well,
Would you explain the process? There's already a motion on the floor.
Sure. So right now, there's a pending motion that needs to be decided. At the work session, there was a discussion about tabling the motion until after I believe the retreat. Is that correct? So that additional information could be brought forward. So first and foremost, we need to decide on what you want to do with the motion on the table.
there hasn't been, no one made the motion to table yet, so I'm waiting to go through the speaker list.
Correct. So just, yeah, procedural.
You could withdraw your motion, yes?
I'm going to withdraw my motion so we can get a proper motion.
Okay. It's been withdrawn. The motion has been withdrawn. Mr. Green, the member who made the motion has withdrawn the motion.
Okay, so there's been discussion already. So I think at this point, correct my understanding, there was a motion to decide
Yes,
whether to
the
approve.
motion was to approve.
Correct?
Yes.
So there's been a discussion at this point. You decide whether, well, let me look at withdrawing motions on whether that.
Green, could we, again, as someone
Make sure here.
familiar with parliamentary procedure,
Yes.
we just move to postpone this item until the April board meeting? That would be a clean way to do it if
That's-
someone wanted to do that.
Sure, if that's the will of the board, then yes.
I'll make a motion to postpone this item to a later time. You don't have to put a time certain.
No.
If we know it's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So there's been a motion to postpone this item, V1, to the April school board meeting.
It,
To be determined. Can you repeat your motion again?
Board Member Wyatt, can you please repeat your motion?
My motion was to postpone it to a later date, and I was told that it had to be a specific date. So it would be the April board meeting, which is April, which one?
And I was just seeking to clarify for the public and others who will be watching, your motion was an open motion. When the chair began to recite it, he knew the date you were thinking of. He added that. You, having been the one to make the motion, really should just amend your motion to include that, and then he can
April
ask.
28th.
Well, the motion hasn't been seconded yet, so she could reword her motion.
Chair Sharpless, I would like to second that motion.
April 28th.
April 28th.
Okay, so it's been moved by Board Member Wyatt to postpone this to the April 28th meeting, and it's been seconded by Board Member Allen. Okay, is there any discussion on the postponement of this item to the April 28th, 2026 meeting? Board Member Keys, you are now recognized.
So I just want to be careful about that. If we have any other questions, I think the proper would be to table it and then call it back off the table, would it not? Because then if we postpone it, that's time certain. If we had more questions, we'd have to answer them. So we would really have to table it and then call it off the table to be able to vote on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, attorney, but if you table something, it has to come back at the next meeting or it is dead.
yeah, I think if the board will.
I would think it would be better to postpone it to a specific.
I agree. And if you know that date, then we'll decide that date now, and it'll appear on that future motion, future agenda item.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And the only reason I was saying that because I don't want to have to do it again and kick it down the road even further. Once we have the information, if we have all the information, then set an agenda. Because if we don't have all the information and now we're saying we're going to bring it back on that date, then we're going back and potentially postponing again.
Correct, but there's not in parliamentary procedure. If you table something and it doesn't come back the next meeting, it is killed. And I would hate for that to happen to this item as well. If you postpone it indefinitely, you're also killing the motion. So there's really not a way to do it to where we just say, okay, whenever we want to bring it back, we bring it back. So that's why the correct motion in this case would be the April one. And if we have to postpone it from there, then we can postpone it from there.
I understood that differently, but my apologies if I'm wrong.
So, Board Attorney Green, can you weigh in on this? Am I correct, or do we need to?
Yes. So if the board's will is to postpone this until a future date, then you would submit a motion, someone would place a motion for consideration, discussion on what that date is, and decide on it as a board, as opposed to tabling.
Correct. Okay, so now that we've got the ruling from Attorney Green, Mr. Keys, do you have any additional comment? No? Okay. So Board Member Miller, you are now recognized.
I would like to hear from the superintendent or staff what the contract prohibits moving the date, if it makes the contract invalid, where we are in binding with an approval, or, you know. I'm in real estate, and if you don't take my deal, I'm selling it to somebody else. So I just need you to explain that to the public.
Mr. McLemore, if the board were to delay this till April, are there any implications in the current contract?
Not in the current contract as stipulated. We have had discussions with the seller, and they have indicated their desire to get this decided sooner rather than later because they have been approached by others.
So delay potentially run the risk of
Not having
potentially
this as an
increasing
option.
cost, or them going ahead and deciding to sell it to another party.
Correct, yes, sir.
You're still recognized.
Thank you. I just wanted that confirmed, just so the public has all the information. And I understand the concerns. I understand this is the longest we've ever talked about one piece of property. And we've all heard from staff as well as others. So thank you. That cleared that up.
Thank you, Board Member Miller. Board Member Allen, you are now recognized.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have further conversations, so I'm looking forward to hearing how that plays out. The key things for me is what's the time on getting infrastructure to that property and estimation of cost. I know it was not noted in mileage, but it's 2 miles to get infrastructure to that property currently. So I'd like to know what, and maybe there's, some secret sauce that's not being disclosed of that infrastructure getting to that property, but I would like to know. I mean, I think that's important because that takes time. And then the property's just sitting there, and I'm okay with that in a sense, because I think that's future planning, yes. But what's our intentionality for the property as well? I think those are two key areas that have not been presented to me. It's been uncertain what the usage of the property would be. I'd like to have a little bit more direction on that, and that's it. And obviously there's going to be other things to unravel in our future retreat. So, Chair, that's all I have right now at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Allen. Board Member Wallace, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I recognize that, all the time and energy that our staff and board meetings, including ones prior to my joining, have taken place. But as I have further examined, I'm not totally against the purchase, but I still have outstanding questions that I have submitted to staff that aren't fully answered to my satisfaction related to this deal. So I think that, and they mostly are in the realm of the purchasing contracts. And I'll just provide a single example, is in our personal purchasing of contracts, there's no deposit amount mentioned. And everybody I know in real estate specifies when you're going to sign an agreement and purchase something that there is a deposit that's made to seal the agreement. And that wasn't named, that wasn't specified. Nobody could tell me how much the deposit was going to be for. So that automatically just raised some concerns. So I know that there's a lot of moving numbers and factors based on when the board acts, and then that would set things into motion and then answer more specifics. But when I vote for a $9 million purchase, I would like to see specific numbers and specific dates and specific timelines, assuming that we were to act on the day that we approve something. So that's just something I notice as an example. And so I think also now that the conversation is on the agenda for a retreat about all the growth, that it would be a missed opportunity, and I'm willing to wait a couple more months since we're already down this far. So that's where I sit.
Thank you, Board Member Wallace. Board Member Keys, you are now recognized.
Came to mind, and then I'm done talking about it. I would urge my colleagues to do your due diligence and drive out there. As somebody who's driven past this property for over 30 years, I would urge you to go out and look at it and tell me if you think it's a good site for anything that the district has. That's all.
Thank you, Board Member Keys. Is there any further discussion on the item of business to postpone this item to the April 28th school board meeting? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote on postponing this item to the April 28th school board meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion passes. The item is now postponed to the April 28th board meeting. Item V2, we are now on, which is entitled Tentative 2026-27, 27-28, 28-29 Instructional Calendars for Student, Teachers, and Paraeducators. The suggested action is to approve the tentative 2026-27, 27-28, and 28-29 instructional calendars for students, teachers, and paraeducators. The chair will entertain a motion. It's been moved by Board Member Keys and seconded by Board Member Allen. Is there any discussion, fellow board members? Mr. Keys, you are now recognized.
I just want to continue on with the comments that were made during our work session, the hard work that goes into this and the intentionality. Thank you for the team for spending time on that. And we talked about some of those dates and how they fall. And although the calendar year doesn't afford us everything that we want, I think that there was good conversation around it. And I appreciate all the hard work that goes into this because it's a heavy lift.
Thank you, Board Member Keys. Are there any other board members wish to be recognized? Board Member Wyatt, you are now recognized.
Thank you. I have the great pleasure of serving on the calendar committee, and this is not a process for, everybody has opinions on the calendar, what comes out. It is not a process that is taken lightly. There are probably 40 people in that room, easily, all representing, we have some teachers, we have school staff, district staff, transportation, food service, literally everyone you can think of, community members. I really appreciate Superintendent Hyde's intentionality this year on making sure that we had principals that represented all different types of schools. So not just a high school principal. We had an elementary, we had a middle, we had a combination school to really be able to give how things impact every level of student. But it really is a fascinating process, and this is the end result. So know that there was a lot of time and brain power from a million individuals. It's not just Superintendent Hyde saying, this is what we should do, so.
Thank you, Board Member Wyatt. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote on the item to approve the 2026, 27, 27, 28, 28, 29 instructional calendars for student, teachers, and paraeducators. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. The final item on our action agenda is, I take that back. The next item is V3, entitled Executive Summary, PEA Collective Bargaining Settlement 2526. The suggested action is to approve the PEA Collective Bargaining Settlement 2526. The chair will accept a motion. It's been moved by Board Member Fields, seconded by Board Member Keys. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously. Our final item is V4, out-of-county travel within the state of Florida. The recommended action is to amend the out-of-county travel within the state of Florida as discussed at our work session. Do I hear a motion to approve? It's been moved by Board Member Wyatt. Do I have a second? It's been seconded by Board Member Keys. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend the out-of-county travel within the state of Florida as discussed at work session? Board Member Miller, you are now recognized.
Public, can Mr. Green just repeat what was discussed?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure. So during the earlier work session today, there were two items. I shared them in an email just for your reference here. There was a technical change that was proposed by Neola, which is to align the policy with the statute. I mentioned that there was a change in the paragraph under in-county travel, changing the phrase mileage shall be determined by actual odometer reading to as permitted by law, since there's two laws that can determine mileage, and odometer reading is not one of them. And the final has to do with out-of-county travel, paragraph 2, where it removes the phrase when approved in advance, because in that paragraph, it talks about expenses in general, whereas the statute, 1139, paragraph 2, only requires approval for expenses exceeding $500. And that's the one in paragraph 3 that's written there. So by removing that phrase, it removes the perceived requirement or a lack of clarity that when approval is required. It's only required when it exceeds 500. So removing that phrase there takes away any ambiguity that approval is required any other time.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Board Member Miller, do you have any further discussion? Yeah, I think so. You're welcome. Is there any discussion, board members? Seeing none, we will now proceed to vote. All those in favor of approving the motion to amend our out-of-county travel with the state of Florida as discussed at our work session, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. The next item of business on our agenda is the superintendent's report. Superintendent Hyde, do you have a report for us tonight?
I do, Mr. Chair. Before I share the entirety or the report that I have as far as the next meeting, just want to say thank you to PEA. As they mentioned and said very well, there's a lot that goes into bargaining. And, I think that this bargaining session, while a little bit protracted, really focused on some really key issues for our staff. And we were very open and receptive to the fact that in areas where we know financially we're hamstrung and just simply can't offer the compensation that our employees absolutely deserve on every given day, are there things within the workplace that we can help address? And I think they brought some very legitimate concerns forward. I think the board found that we reached consensus on a number of those. What we tried to do is make sure that there were very clear, definitive language in there that would prevent, any arguments in the future or any miscommunication, not less for our teams, because we're at the table the entire time discussing it, but for those who will read it then in the contract and have to interpret it, and like I use that phrase, operationalize it in the setting. So I want to say thank you. It's a difficult process. At times, it gets heated, but, that's not really directed at each other. It's directed at the issue. I think we're all share a similar frustration in regard to we wish there was more. We truly do. And as a district, we maintain our commitment. The board has seen that. Actually, the board heard earlier today in the workshop a lot about we're reviewing our larger significant contracts to make sure that we are benefiting from the most aggressive and the best ROI we can possibly generate, both in services and potentially a reduction in cost. And then those dollars in turn can be utilized differently to support staff. So that's our continued commitment. That's my continued commitment to you. So I just want to say thank you to them and their team, and for being flexible at times with the bargaining process, because we're trying to work this out so that meetings can be more productive and we can move away from showing up to meetings and one side presents their talking points and then we feel like we have to go and schedule another meeting to come back. How do we, if we can exchange information beforehand, it's become more productive. So we're trying to support that as well. It's a two-way road, and we need to be mutually respectful in that regard, and I think we've made headways there. I'm very pleased to share that AFSCME has also reached an agreement at the table, but they are going out for their ratification vote, and then you will soon be seeing, and in the AFSCME vote, they took the raise, plus they elected to take maternity and paternity leave. The survey will be going out to non-union group. I say that because we always refer to them as the NUG group. I think it's arguably a very disrespectful term. But the non-union group will have the same choice. They'll receive that survey this week, and then I'll be able to bring that back to the board as well. So we're excited about that. And I know that was not because PEA did not have a mutual interest in that, because I know that remains a talking point for us, but it really came down to dollars and cents and how can they make sure that their members and our employees mutually are getting the highest possible raise in this very economically challenging time. So I wanted to share all that. Thank you, board members, for allowing me to do that. The next work session meeting will be held on March 10th, 2026 at 9 a.m. The meeting will be held at the district office located at 1915 South Floral Avenue in Bartow. Mr. Chair, members of the board, while I have announced that location, that is also in the middle of AgriFest, so I have reached out to see if the board were interested and willing, and we don't have to say anything tonight, about relocating our meeting, the workshop, to the fairgrounds while AgriFest is going on, so that way if we convene early, you can go out and enjoy and participate. But I have to make sure there's space, and I also have to make sure the communications team has time to set up so we can broadcast the meeting. So thank you, sir. Appreciate the opportunity to share that this evening. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Superintendent Hyde. Next, we'll move to our, our attorney's report. Mr. Green, you are recognized.
Thank you. I'm requesting authority to advertise a public hearing to be held on April 28th, 2026, during the regularly scheduled board meeting for policy updates presented during the February 24th school board work session today for rule development. The text of the proposed rule scheduled for the public hearing will be available at the time the notice is published. For the record, the policies presented this afternoon included both bylaw 0147.1 related to travel and expenses and policy 5223 related to absences for religious instruction. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Green. The recommended motion is to approve to advertise the public hearing for policy updates presented at the February 24th school board work session. The chair welcomes a motion at this time. The motion was made by Board Member Wyatt, seconded by Board Member Keys. Is there any discussion, fellow board members? Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Green. Now we'll come to the part of the evening where we have our board member reports. Tonight, I'm going to go in district order. So we will start with Board Member Allen, District 1.
Comments tonight. First of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Wickman, our Senior Director of Science and Social Studies, Jeff Hancock, and so many other district staff members and judges who supported the Polk Regional Science and Engineering Fair. It was held at Southwest Middle. And then also I had a chance to attend the Polk History Fair. And I mean, I was just truly blown away by the level of student work. I engaged deeply with, a lot of research, a lot of history within my own discipline, and yet I heard terms and concepts from our students that I had never encountered before. I was just blown away. And that really speaks volumes to the brilliance of our students and the caliber of thinking that was on display. Was definitely exceptional. Even at the Polk History Fair that was here at the History Center in Bartow, there were so many documentary productions. There were performances by historical figures, web content, essays being defended. It was really incredible. And then on this past Sunday, I just want to say thanks to David Bird. I had a chance to travel out and connect with him. I really appreciate his continued service around agriculture and the CTE programs. Had a chance to hear several FFA speakers who came from so many different counties around us, as well as so many of our schools here in the district as well. The setting was way out in the swamp, and it was way out in the swamp. Man, Miss Miller. But it was actually a fun drive on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning. Their upcoming theme, and Mr. Sharpless can probably speak to this a little bit more, but with a faith born not of words but of deeds, and that was the theme of a lot of the speeches given. So it was pretty amazing to take part in that. It was the first time I actually had a chance to take part in that. Went over to Tenor Rock recently, and I know we all have taken part in these initiatives as well, but the 3DE culminating event was 10.4 for Home Depot, and to me, it's clear that the stakes continue to get higher. If I go all the way back to the very beginning of the 3DE program and to see where it was and where it is now, it really is incredible. And there were so many very tech-focused initiatives that they were bringing forward, a lot of models that they were creating as well. It was in the auditorium. It seemed like all of their peers, all of their class peers were in the audience. It was a full house. Can you imagine delivering a speech in the middle of that context? I was really impressed with those students and what they're doing. And I would say, as someone who enjoys DIY projects and technology, I would have absolutely taken part in some of those initiatives if Home Depot was to implement something like that. I do want to commend the superintendent for the way that you've handled the recent student protest across the district. I mean, I think these situations are not simple. I appreciate the balance on this and honoring our student voice, but also prioritizing safety. So I just want to thank you for the constant communication around that, making sure that the order was there, but the student voice was heard as well. And then finally in my comments, this is the last week of Love the Bus. And I want to recognize our bus drivers and attendants. Superintendent, we read your messages daily. I think maybe even a couple have come through within the last few hours that pertain to bus situations. And when those come through, just it's a constant reminder of the burden that they carry each day of transporting our children. And it's a huge, huge carry and a burden that they and a tremendous responsibility for sure. So we see you, our bus drivers and attendants. We appreciate you, and we love the people who make these buses move. So, Chair Sharpless, that's all my comments for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Allen. I now recognize Board Member Keys.
Thank you, Chair Sharpless. So, wow, a busy couple weeks. I, like Dr. Allen, went out and did the 3D event over at Lake Region, and this had been, I think, the fourth time I attended one of these events, and then Mr. Clevenger roped me into judging on this one, so, unbeknownst to myself when I walked in the door. But again, I think the progression that I see in the students as they come through the program, and they are presenting in front of all their peers, and it takes a lot of courage. But I could tell you, and the team, as we went back to deliberate, and we were talking about how well they were put together. And these students at this point, they're memorizing their presentations. They're not looking back at them all the time and giving us some of the suggestions they gave to Home Depot were, there was a pod to go in and kind of do a virtual project build. And I'm like, that's amazing. Probably unfeasibly, it's going to be really, not cost effective, but just the ideas, and they have the ability to explore those, and the research they have to do is very commendable. It's a wonderful program, and happy to go out and support those. Then another thing, just absolutely amazed, went to the East Polk College and Career Fair they had at Lake Eva. And let me tell you, when I walked in the door that evening, we did a college fair when I was in high school, right? And it was the gymnasium. There's maybe like 15, 20 schools there. The entire Lake Eva Event Center was packed wall to wall, and walked in there as part of the Florida tour. And just so many organizations, whether it be employers, universities, career schools, just absolutely fantastic. Well, number one, to see that many there. Number two, as I stayed around and looked, the community participation was phenomenal. So want to say kudos to Miss Monique Tubbs. Wow, it's kind of quarterbacking that and going around with walkie-talkie and making sure everybody was where they're at, and Miss Everett and her entire team. What a fantastic event, and I'm glad that we had the turnout, the participation we did, because I think that's going to ensure that event keeps happening in the years to come. Next, thank you also to Dr. Allen and Ms. Wyatt went to Leadership Winter Haven at Winter Haven High School that day, and we were talking about their education day, and able to share with those community members. Was glad to take part in that. Some good questions, but I think overall to see the community active in those programs and them pouring into education is absolutely awesome. Congratulations again. We recognize our essay winners tonight. Not only the ones from my area, but overall, I think to put your feelings and your thoughts on paper, right? It adds time of reflection, and what a healthy exercise to do that. So congratulations on all those winners. Two more, and I see the superintendent smiling because he knew it was going to come up. Attended the Clays for Classrooms event for Polk Education Foundation on Friday night, and through some weird scoring error, the team labeled this year as "we're just here for the ice cream." somehow edged out the sharpshooters. Again, I think that there was a math thing going on there where their scores were miscalculated, but congratulations to the superintendent and his team. They did edge us out this year, the sharpshooters, and I'm calling for a rematch. You can't hide behind the missed score for long. We're coming after you. So, but again, Polk Education Foundation, what a wonderful event, and that's what Susan Copeland wanted. And if you have never been able to just even go out and look at that event, I encourage you. And thanks to Pete Glauco for letting us have that area, because they black out, there's no lights, and then they turn on black lights for this clay shoot in the middle of the night, right? We don't get started till after 7 o'clock, and these clays glow. And I remember the first time they did it without the spotlights that put the black lights out there, you could hear it audibly from those in attendance. It was, ooh, ah. But what an event, and I spoke to Ms. Porter today, and this goes directly to initiatives within Polk County Public Schools. They haven't done the final tally yet, but this year was again over $50,000 to education going directly to students and teachers in Polk County Public Schools. So thank you for all the community sponsors for that. And then very last, I'm gonna brag on my district. Quite a few sporting accomplishments. So at Haines City Senior High School, the Lady Hornets took the 7A District 9 championship in basketball. Congratulations to those ladies. Miss DJ Smith won the state championship for wrestling in Class 3A District 9. Congratulations to Miss Smith. The Lady Broncos wrestling team at Davenport High School placed 11th out of 60 at regionals. What a phenomenal feat there in the Class 1A D6. And then the Ridge Community High School, the men Bolts wrestling team, took home the Class 3A District 5 championship. So a lot happening in Northeast Polk, and just excited to be a part of these things as we can. That's it.
Thank you, Board Member Keys. Now recognize Board Member Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd first like to start by saying I had the privilege of attending a portion of the Emerge Symposium that was at the Florida Polytechnic University campus at the Barnett Applied Research Center, and that was hosted by our recruitment department, and teachers were given the opportunity to get free professional development if they wanted to on a Saturday. And there were engaging topics like how to incorporate AI. We afford our employees AI through Copilot when they're in their Microsoft Office applications. I also saw some science instruction classes. There was a session about grants and applying for grants. So there were a lot of interesting, relevant topics. And I sat in on the AI session and learned a bunch and went home and already put it to work, probably to Superintendent Hyde's great peril, because I'm already using it in my capacity as a board member, not to cheat or cut corners, but to be more thorough and to have assistive help. So I also, just for the public's awareness, I read an essay, and it's totally changed my outlook, and it's girded me into action. It's on X, formerly known as Twitter. The essay is called Something Big is Happening, and it's by Matt Schumer, Schumer. If you're like, what is going on with AI, and what do I need to do about it, if at all? How's it going to impact me? Give it a 10-minute read. I think you'll find it fascinating and compelling, because it was written by somebody who has a front row seat of what's going on in California. And we're getting the telephone downtrodden messages about that. And it is as exciting as it is scary. But read it, and it just basically, the long and short of it is that it says we all ought to be engaging with AI every day somehow to get better and to learn it and to figure out how to master it, because it's here and it's coming. So I just wanted to share that, and I appreciated that our district was offering free resources in that lane, among others. I'm glad you mentioned wrestling, but I know we have a lot of winter sports that are in their playoff phases and competitive phases. And because of my connection to Bartow High School and familial connections to basketball in particular, I'm wishing the best of luck to the Bartow High School boys basketball program that will be competing in the regional final this coming Saturday, February 28th against Evans High School in Orlando. Because Bartow has IB and Summerlin, we get to play really big urban high schools in the playoffs. So our boys are playing against communities that have super deep athletic benches, if you will, literally, and competing well. And they lost to Edgewater last year, but beat them last week, also in Orlando. So, and there's actually a bunch of Wallaces that have gone to Edgewater High School that I'm kin to, so it's a nice family rivalry. And I also want to congratulate Victory Christian and Santa Fe, our other Polk County schools that are also advancing in the tournament in their respective classes. And Winter Haven girls basketball, not to steal thunder from my colleague, but I know they're competing on 27th, because like we've seen from the Olympics, very important to recognize the men and women and all their great achievements. And then I am looking forward to more of all of our conversations. Today was a marathon. I appreciate all the staff, all the volunteers, superintendent, your team, my colleagues. I'm learning, trying to do a good job, not overdo it, but at the same time, try to contribute and not just be an empty chair. So thank you to whether I'm emailing you or asking questions. Appreciate everybody's patience with me. And that's it, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Wallace. Now recognize Board Member Wyatt.
And Ms. Wallace, just so you know, our Winter Haven girls basketball team, who won state last year, we can't say that enough. Their star player, who is a senior and a true leader on that team, is out with an injury as of 2 games ago for the rest of the season. Apparently, when they were down by 11 points going to the half, she went into the locker room and gave a very impassioned speech with many of the things that the coaches said, yeah, we're not allowed to tell them those types of things. But when it's coming from your teammate, it hits a little different. So it's cool always to see our kids being leaders both on and off the courts or the fields because, man, what a hard season to be out towards the end. But I have a couple other student highlights I want to do very quickly. City of Winter Haven has a new partnership with our local elementary schools. So they did what's called a Day Without Water essay contest. Have you ever thought about a day without water? All of the things that you can't do? Well, these 5th graders all got to write essays about it. And the top 3 were 2 from Snively Elementary, Reina Hernandez and Skylar Lorenzo. And then 1 from Garner Academy, Noelis Riviera. They were all recognized at the City Commission meeting last night, but they also all get to go on a special field trip this Friday to visit the city's water plant and understand the process of water, how it goes in, how it comes out, where water comes from, which is a really cool opportunity for those students and just a great way to engage them. It's amazing how many students get really excited about an essay when you find out you get to go and visit a water treatment plant. Who knew? We also had the arts in the park down in Winter Haven this week. I want to give another shout out to Snively because they are on fire here lately. Their student, he's 4th grade, Cody Garrett, earned 1st place for all elementary schools, which is really exciting. They've got a lot of great things happening there at Snively. I also on Friday had the opportunity to attend Beth Cummings' retirement cabaret. It was magical. I just want to give a huge thanks to Beth for all that she's done over the past several decades that she has been with Polk County Public Schools. The cabaret was really cool in that it went through kind of her whole career path here. Lots of guest pop-ups, but to see the number of people that attended, I was talking to a couple people sitting near me and said, I don't think that half of these people will come to see me when I retire. There were easily 250 people there just to celebrate her and all of the good work that she's done and gave up their Saturday night to do that. Was a really impactful thing to see. And then my last thing, and I will then cede my time because I know we have some guest speakers. Superintendent Hyde and I got the opportunity to go out to Valley View and speak with a 2nd grader that had some concerns, and she is going to be here to join us tonight because we felt like it was really important, of course, as he moved out. We felt like it was really important for the full board to get to hear her concerns. So it was a very cool opportunity, and we're excited to bring that to you guys.
Thank you,
That concludes my report. Sorry, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Board Member Wyatt. Now I recognize Board Member Fields.
Yeah, I have a couple of things. I wanted to say that I attended the Teen Pregnancy Prevention Alliance Faith Leaders Breakfast by the Healthy Start Coalition last week, and it was a great event, great attendance from the community, and I am hoping that we'll be able to support and embrace this initiative in the upcoming year. Also had a chance, I shared this with Superintendent Hyde, had a chance to attend my first, well, actually it's my second TEDx event, and it was in Lake Alfred at the McKay House Preserve. And there were like 8 speakers, 15 minutes on different subjects, and Nikisha Leatherwood, who is the principal at McLaughlin, was amazing. And I shared with the superintendent, I think it would be very good if she could share it with her peers. And it was basically just talking about a boy, a student named Nathaniel, and how he was advocating for himself, and how he kept coming back wanting to go on a field trip. And there wasn't any space available because he had not registered in time, and how he just kept advocating for himself, and ultimately he got his own space. So she was just talking about how it's important to listen to our students and understand that they have value and that they can open up doors that we aren't able to open. So I hope and pray that she'll be able to share that story with her peers. And then I participated in and supported Flipping for Charities Pancakes, which is the Citrus Center Kiwanis Club fundraiser, and it was a great event. And that event supports many nonprofits in our community, giving back to our community, which is very important, and primarily supporting organizations that support youth. And then last but certainly not least, very excited about one of our students at Harrison. Her name is Kennedy Davenport. She's also a part of Girls Inc., and she has been recognized in many ways over the last few months. But one of the things that she's going to be doing this Friday and also on Saturday, she participated in an audition for the Patel Conservatory Spring Cabaret, and she is going to be singing on stage with a live pit orchestra in Tampa at the Strauss Center. And it is going to be on Friday at 7 and Saturday at 2 p.m. So we're very excited about that. And then on March, she's going to be singing with the Lakeland Symphony Orchestra. She competed in another, I think it was a scholarship, and she's going to be receiving a scholarship, but also she's going to be singing with a live orchestra. And I'm excited because I have never witnessed a student of ours singing with a live orchestra. So she gets two for one. So if you're not doing anything and you would like to drive all the way to Tampa, my understanding is that there is no cost for the tickets. It's free admission. So, and then the same thing for the Lakeland Symphony on March the 7th. So that ends my report.
Thank you, Board Member Fields. Now recognize Board Member Miller.
Thank you, Chair Sharpless. I have a couple of things. One, I want to remind people that when the bus arms come out, you have to stop. We just had a Polk Vision Board of Directors meeting with the sheriff, and the tickets are not slowing down. People are not stopping. He described video that was very disturbing of kids scattering so they wouldn't be hit by vehicles. There will be a new marketing campaign advertising those videos. That's the last thing I think left to do is just start publicly posting what this looks like so people take it seriously, because the tickets are still being written at an enormous rate. We really thought once we started that it would slow down just because you would get fined, but that's not working. So we're asking that you tell your neighbors and remind people that unless it's a divided highway, you have to stop when you see those arms extended. It's important, and we have way too many fatalities in Polk County, so please be aware of that. Speaking of safety, Vision Zero, which is Safe Streets workshops, if you live in the following areas and you'd like to have input on safety and roadways, March 5th, Juanita Elementary, March 10th, the Auburndale Civic Center, and March 12th at Sleepy Hill Elementary. There will be workshops. You can find that online under Vision Zero or Polk Vision's site. That'll give you an opportunity to come out. This will address, Kathleen, some of the areas with heavy traffic, and they'll be sharing data and some opportunities there for improvement. 2 upcoming events. I'm glad that Ms. Fields mentioned that, and I want to add that Kennedy also is a volunteer with kids, so she is an excellent student mentor, and I hope she comes back to share her her experiences with our students. But we do have we have an upcoming event at Harrison this Friday. If you have not seen a Harrison performance, I can tell you, for somebody who loves Broadway, it is comparable to what you see in a major city. They are performing Water for Elephants this Friday, and I can imagine the sets will be amazing, and so will the talent. So you can see that this weekend, and there's tickets still available. And the other thing that's available coming up for the Polk Education Foundation to help build scholarships for our JROTC students is there'll be a luncheon Wednesday, March 11th, and you will hear from Speaker Colonel Mark Tillman, and he was who was flying Air Force One the day of September 11th when he had to return the president back to the White House. So it'll be a count of his experience in the military and of that day. So that would be it'll be held to begin at noon. It's at First Presbyterian in Lakeland, and you can get more information for tickets from the Polk Education Foundation. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Miller. I will have my report now. First, I want to thank Superintendent Hyde, as well as America's Sheriff Grady Judd, for joining me at the Polk County Youth Fair this year. We took pictures with a lot of students from all over the county that were recognized for their successes at the Polk County Youth Fair. So thank you again, Superintendent, for being there. Also, I want to thank the Dundee City Commission. They actually invited me out this month to come to their City Commission meeting. And I just introduced myself and told them I was here I represent that city on the board here, and so I wanted to make sure they knew who I was, put a face with a name. And so thank you, Dundee City Commissioners, for allowing me to attend. I'm just going to say the best wishes, good luck to both the Bartow High School boys basketball and Winter Haven High School girls basketball teams during the tournament. Bring home a state championship for Winter Haven. That'd be back-to-back if they did. Bartow has won numerous times, but certainly would like them to bring back some championships here for Polk County. I attended an event at the Aerospace Center of Excellence. It was through 3DE. It was their culminating event for freshmen, and it was their Arby's Challenge, and it was really neat. 3DE gives students, and I know Board Member Allen talked about this earlier, but 3DE gives students a real-world problem, and it asks them to go figure it out. And for me, it was really interesting. It was Arby's, and Arby's was using the students to create an answer to the problem of why aren't 13 to 17-year-olds eating at Arby's, right? That demographic is one that's not captured very much. They said generally it's older people or people with families, right? And so it's interesting to me to hear all I'm not going to go through all their suggestions, but it was really cool. I mean, you're hearing, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, right? It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Not to be confused with horsey sauce.
Correct, Board Member Wallace. Okay. Also, this week I'm going to be attending an event, or it might be next week. Let me look real quick. No, it is this week. I'm going to be attending an event in Wauchula. The Florida School Board Association is having our regional meetings, and so the West Central region is meeting tomorrow afternoon in Wauchula, and so I will be there, and representing Polk County, our district, and meeting with other school board members from our region. I'm excited for that and getting to fellowship with my fellow board members. I went and visited Ridge Technical College, and I visited the STEEL program. This is something that we've just recently voted on, as far as for the next year. And I went out there and I visited and got to meet the students. It's a tremendous program. It's helping some of our ESE students to gain real-world skills. This is, again, post-secondary. So this is after transition, or potentially, when they join the program, they are done with transition at that point, and they're in the STEEL program. It's a culinary program, and so hearing some of them wanting to go work for Publix, wanted to work at restaurants. It was pretty cool. So my fellow board members, if you haven't visited the STEEL program at Ridge Technical College, I highly suggest it. You'll come away with a smile on your face and a better understanding of what we're doing. We fund it. 2 more things, I promise. AgriFest. We got the strawberries today. We got the postcard. I'm actually going to be volunteering at AgriFest on March the 3rd. And so I recommend, if you haven't volunteered there yet, to do that. You get to be face-to-face with for our students from all over the county. You get to learn quite a bit, and it's just a great time to help support our students as they're learning about agriculture and related industries. So I highly suggest it. And the final thing I'm gonna talk about tonight, as we heard earlier tonight, it is Career Technical Education Month. CTE, as we say it changed my life. I went into my high school agriculture class with no real career direction, and I left it knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And it does that for students all across our district, all the time. And so I just want to say, career technical education, very important, and I'm glad that we have a month to celebrate it. It's also FFA week, which is kind of great, which is in Career Technical Education Month, because as a former middle and high school agriculture teacher here in this district, FFA was very impactful to my life. And we saw the young lady here tonight with her official dress on, always looking sharp. And with that, I wanted to congratulate 2 teachers that were recognized tonight that are in my district. First, a longtime friend, Mr. Eddie Congdon. I've known him since I was a high school student, and he's, which I know some of y'all may think that's a real long time. Some people may not think it's as long, but he's a great agriculture teacher at Dundee Ridge Middle Academy. He started that program. He's a legend in not just Polk County, but in Florida as far as teaching agriculture, and it was very appropriate that we recognized him tonight. Guy's got a huge heart. The second person from another one of my schools, Frostproof Middle Senior High School, was recognized as Culinary Teacher of the Year. So Eddie Congdon from Dundee Ridge was Agriculture Teacher of the Year. Culinary was Julie Brantley from Frostproof Middle Senior High School, an amazing culinary teacher. If you if you want to know about not just at the local level here, doing a great job, but also her students compete at the state level too and do a great job in their different competitions. So just want to give a huge shout out to Eddie Congdon, Julie Brantley, and that will be the end of my report tonight. The next item on our agenda is public comments addressing items not on our agenda tonight. As noted earlier, to register to speak, community members must fill out a speaker card in the lobby prior to the meeting. All speakers will be given 3 minutes. The light, which is over here, will turn yellow when you have 1 minute left, and you will hear a beep when your time is concluded. Please note that although the board encourages community participation, no immediate action will be taken on items presented during this public comment portion of the meeting. If follow-up board action is required, then the matter may be placed on the agenda at a subsequent meeting in accordance with school board policy. I have a list of individuals who have signed up today to speak. Could you please come forward when I call your name? State your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Also, there's a red line over here, so I'm going to call the person that's on deck. When I call your name for being on deck, if you would please come down and line up behind that line, okay? So we can make a steady flow. The first person that is speaking is Skylar Decker, and on deck is Maisha Reed. Uh-oh.
Look at Miss Sarah. Look at Miss Sarah. Go ahead. You're good. Woo! Are you okay, sweetheart? Oh, yes, you're good. Okay. You want me to just start it with you? Okay. Here we go. All right, Skylar Decker, Lakeland, Florida.
Skylar Decker, Lakeland, Florida. Good evening, Chairman Sharpless, Vice Keys, and school board members, and Mr. Fred. My name is Skylar Decker, and I'm a second grade student at Valleyville Elementary. I'm here tonight to speak about something very important to me, and I think many other kids and teachers at my school. The toilet paper at school is not good. It is so thin you can see right through it. Here's an example. There's a cause and effect to using toilet paper this thin. 1, you can see right through it. 2, it hurts. 3, Mr. Justin, my janitor, has to replace it more often. My request tonight is that you consider changing the toilet paper at school. I know this might cost a lot of money for all the schools, but I would guess that less toilet paper would have to be used if it were higher quality. Thank you for taking this time tonight, and I love being a Valleyville Elementary student. Thank you, Mr. Fred and Miss Sarah Beth, for coming to visit me at my school to think about my idea. Have a lovely night.
Oh, Skylar, don't run, don't run. We're good. So, board members, first and foremost, I will tell you that when I met with Skylar in the room, she kicked her mom immediately out of the room and was very comfortable speaking with me and Miss Wyatt. So I know she's a great young lady and has a great personality and very outgoing, very well researched. So she did share her concerns with us. And so we are currently in the process of reviewing to see if we had made a change in our toilet paper recently, and if so, are we spending more money than we did before because we thought we were getting a savings, but to Skylar's point, are we using more? And it's important that I recognize Skylar because there were 2 other students very much like her that came to us in 2021 or 2022, and their involvement led to us having touchless water fountains in all of our campuses. And so for students like Skylar and others who want to advocate for things they think are important, they need to be encouraged to do that. So Skylar, I told you then, I'll tell you this now, you're very brave. We appreciate you, and I promise you, as I will keep my promise, to come back with Miss Wyatt to visit you and give you an update, okay? Thank you, young lady. Great job.
Next up, we have Maisha Reed, and on deck is Carissa Olmos.
Maisha Reed, 6115 North Fork Court, Lakeland, Florida, 33809. Good evening. My name is Maisha Reed, and I'm here tonight to formally address serious concerns regarding my son. I have previously reported to both the principal and the superintendent incidents in which my son has come home with physical bruises. I am deeply concerned that my child may be experiencing abuse while at school. Despite reporting these incidents on several occasions, I have not received incident reports. There has been little to no response. There has been no clear documentation provided to me. There has been no evidence of corrective action or investigation shared. My son is nonverbal. He cannot communicate what happens to him during the day. Because of that, I am his voice. I am his communicator. I am his advocate. In addition to being diagnosed with autism, my son is epileptic and experiences seizures. He is medically vulnerable and requires careful supervision and protection. This makes any unexplained injury even more concerning. I am also concerned that behavioral reports may be exaggerated or amplified in a way that shifts focus away from potential physical or emotional mistreatment. My request is simple: transparency, documentation, and accountability. I have already contacted the Department of Children and Families to report my concerns. If this matter continues to go unheard, I will pursue further action through higher authorities to ensure my son's safety. I am not the only parent who has raised concerns of this nature. I am respectfully asking the board to initiate an independent investigation into these incidents and into the procedures being followed at the school. I responded to your email with my individual concerns and never received a response. My son has not been to school in almost a month due to my concerns with his safety. My child deserves to be safe. Every child deserves to be safe. Thank you.
Next up, we have Carissa Olmos, and on deck, Rosalinda Arzaniga.
Good afternoon. I come before you today to respectfully request that you review and correct the excessive disciplinary action taken against my daughter, Aviana, on February 17th concerning a student protest. I have followed the proper chain of command with no satisfactory resolution. I was told that parents had been notified in advance, but I received no directives regarding this matter as my preferred method of communication is by phone. I find it very concerning that something as important as this was not listed on any website nor social media outlet for the Polk County School Board nor Lake Region High School. My daughter's referral cites only one violation, 5.24, leaving campus without permission. The Code of Conduct explicitly requires progressive discipline for this violation. Based on the district policy, her maximum consequence should have been ISS, not 3 days out of school. Furthermore, the Code of Conduct states on page 21 that factors such as student exceptionality, prior behavior, probability of a recurring violation, and the overall best interest of the student must be considered in all instances. Aviana has never been in trouble before. She currently serves as Lake Region Student Council Executive President, President of IMAG Academy. She's a student representative for the SAC Committee and the former president of Latinos in Action. She was also voted homecoming queen by her peers. She is in no way a problem child. While fully acknowledging the fact that consequences are appropriate when rules are broken, this level of punishment is simply beyond excessive. The Code of Conduct exists to ensure fairness and consistency and must be followed. It simply was not in this case. Given these facts, I respectfully ask that this situation be remedied and that the unexcused absences be removed from her record. I also request that this situation be further investigated as it affects many other students that have unjustly been disciplined. Thank you.
Next up, we have Rosalinda Arzaniga, and on deck is Brianna Schmitz.
Can I start? Hi, my name is Rosalinda Arsenega. I live on 1017 Talon Lane, Winter Haven. On February 19th, I emailed all board members asking for clarification on the district policy related to this issue, but I have not received a response yet. I'm here because this issue remains unresolved, and it's still ongoing. I'm speaking about the recent suspension for Lake Region High School students. My child participated in a walkout to protest and was suspended for 3 days. During that time, we were initially told her teachers would not accept her assignments while suspended because the suspension counted as unexcused absences. We were told this was the district policy, so I read the policy. The student progression plan clearly states that work missed during a student's first 3 days of unexcused absences, including suspension, is expected to be made up with reasonable time to complete it after returning. The policy did not state that work would not be submitted and accepted. After some back and forth with Principal King, with me challenging this and quoting the policy, my child was later told her teachers would accept her work. However, this is not the case. As of today, there is still one teacher refusing to accept her work, citing the policy. The other problem is, even if she had been allowed to turn in her work, other students were not notified about this. It seems that only the students whose parents pushed back received clarification. That is not right. I'm a first-generation Mexican-American. Had I been in my child's shoes, my Spanish-speaking parents would not know how to navigate policy language, email administrators, and escalate concerns. They would have accepted what they were told because they trust the system. That's why I'm here. These students were suspended after participating in a protest, and considering it's ICE, how many of those students also have Spanish-speaking parents who do not feel empowered to question what they were told. Suspension is the consequence. Continuing on to not allow work, what are we trying to solve here? Are we trying to punish the students by making them fail? All I'm asking is for clear policy, and if students are allowed this, the teachers need to be told this is allowed to do. So that's all I'm here to say. Fighting for my child. Thank you.
Next up, we have Brianna Schmitz. On deck is Victor Sims.
Hi, Brianna Schmitz, 1057 Hiawatha Avenue, Lake Wells, Florida. To the school board, my name is Brianna Schmitz, and I come to you as an angry and concerned parent. Two of my sons, Zane and Tyler Pyatt, attend Spook Hill Elementary. Since attending this school, my kids have lost hope and happiness while being in school. They both have autism. Zane is level 1 and in speech therapy. Tyler is level 2. Autistic and eloper, he is nonverbal, and he is also in occupational, speech, behavioral, any therapy you can think of. That being said, I feel that Spook Hill and their administration is taking advantage of the fact that Tyler cannot speak fully. September 23rd, 2025 is a day I will never forget. That is the day that Spook Hill fully failed my children's safety and my confidence that this school can protect them. My son Tyler was having a meltdown in his ESE classroom, to which an aide was not taking care of him. He managed to get out of the classroom, which at that time was on the other side of the school, made it to the front gates, and got out of the school, and ran 2 blocks away before staff finally found him. No police were called. No paramedics were called. I was not even informed. None of us were informed. Had I not shown up at the school to pick up Tyler for a doctor's appointment, no one would have known this happened to him. I was walking up to the office to pick him up. To my right, I see a staff member pulling Tyler behind her from the road. I immediately panicked and asked why was he outside of the gates, to which the out-of-breath staff member replied, "He ran 2 blocks away. I am so out of shape, I almost couldn't catch him." I was infuriated. I started to cry and I wanted my child immediately. I demanded to speak to the principal, to which I was only allowed to speak to the assistant principal at the time. I recorded our conversation so there was some kind of proof this event happened. My husband and I demanded an answer as to how a 6-year-old autistic child was able to get 2 blocks away, where he could have drowned in Lake Wells Lake. He could have been hit by a car or a bus, or worse, kidnapped. To which the staff and assistant principal could not give us an accurate response. I'm going to skip because this is like a long message. I'm going to go to the end. I am emotionally and mentally done allowing my children to be abused and neglected. We as parents, our only role in life is to protect and love our children. And you can believe my children will have a voice, and if they cannot speak for themselves, I will speak for them. I implore you, the school board, to hold this school accountable and right these wrongs that my children and our family have suffered. Every child should enjoy their childhood, not being afraid of what's going to happen to them tomorrow at school. I am not only speaking for my children, but I am also speaking up for other children being abused in the school system. It is time to put a stop to abuse. The incident's being swept under the rug, and it's time to take a stand and do what parents do best, protect our children. Now it's your turn, Polk County School Board. Protect our children. Thank you.
Next up is Victor Sims, and on deck is Monica Williams.
Hello, Victor Sims, 4017 Oak Preserve Drive, Winter Haven, Florida, 33880. My name is Victor Sims. I grew up in Florida's foster care system, went house to house, church to church, and school to school. But my school experience specifically, I had an IEP. I was actually deemed mentally retarded at a young age. And so my IEP services are actually what literally saved my life. Over the last year, I've heard from parents and caregivers about the IEP services that are on paper but aren't being serviced for their children. And that gravely concerns me. Because today I stand here as a person who's graduated from one of the best institutions in this state, the University of South Florida, and received my bachelor's in psychology. I received my master's in business and my law degree. And that would not have happened if it wasn't for IEP services. So I look at all these parents day in and day out telling me that their children aren't being served, and that worries me. A year ago, I took a step because I had a foster kid in my home who wasn't being given her IEP services. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, am I serving you the best I can? And I said no. And I took some steps to hopefully change that experience for her, but also for other children, right? And so I'm just asking 4 different things. One, I asked that the board consider making a task force, first to conduct a district-wide audit of IEP services delivery, including tracking staffing gaps and compensatory services owed. Second, establish clear, written district protocols for IEP implementation for every school. Third, require real-time notification to families when services are missed, along with a documented plan for when and how those services will be made up. Fourth, create a standing special education oversight review committee, whether through a committee or regular board reporting, so that this issue is monitored consistently, not reactively. So many of our parents are saying they're reporting it up to the state and not getting resolution. They're emailing people. They're giving all they can, and they have full-time jobs. They're hoping that us as a school district, as a community, serves them. And so I ask that we take this into consideration. Thank you all for the time and everything that you all do.
Next up, we have Monica Williams.
Good evening, Board. Monica Williams, 1858 Alta Vista Circle, Lakeland, Florida. First off, let me say that I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I know your role is not easy. By no means do I take it lightly, your role. You have heard from each participant this evening about different things in the ESC departments, whether it's allegation of abuse or services not being rendered. I come tonight as I came on January the 27th talking about ESC services. They're not being given. My son, who I fought for his IEP, got him on track. 3rd grade ELA state testing, he was a level 3. Math, he was a level 4. To only 2 years later, he's a level 1. Services is not being rendered. As of today, no math services. And Mr. Fred Hyde, I know he has a very busy job, but we have included him in multiple emails as well as members of this board. And I don't know how you guys go through your busy day to answer each parent, but I went back and looked at numerous of YouTube videos. And you have parents like me have come to the board and said, hey, our kids are not getting services. Our kids are not getting speech therapy. They're not getting their minutes. When will the board take a look into this? Why all these parents? I went way back into 2022. These parents, we're not getting services. My son is not getting services. And I'm too is a product of ESC services. If I didn't have ESC services, Chairman Sharpless, I'm from Frostproof. I wouldn't have my master's degree and be a provider. I give back to my community. And I want my son to have the same education and opportunity as I have. He can be whatever he wants to be with the support from the Polk County School. And Attorney Green, I know you have a big role, but one thing I liked about Mr. Bridges is that it was important that he bridged the relationship between the parent and the district. Now a lot of concerns are being swept underneath the rug or alluded as this parent is a problem parent or this child is a problem child. No, the problem is as these students are not getting their services and they're regressing academically. Please, I encourage you guys to look into this because as Mr. Hyde stated that they will take the complaints as they come. Yes, I complained twice and each time something was always found. I don't want to have to keep complaining to the state. I want my board members who I trusted to do something about this. Children are not getting service. This is their future and they deserve to be serviced. I thank you for your time.
Board members, our next order of business is adjournment. There being no further business, this meeting of the Polk County School Board is now adjourned. Thank you.